Last episode I ended with a thought, where the motion gets hard, where knowing the thing is one thing, and doing it is another, what most of the books leave out. This episode is that gap. Specifically, in Tolle. There's something about Eckhart Tolle's books that's true and unbearable at the same time. The descriptions are precise, the destination is clear, the path between where you are and where he's describing is mostly missing. I noticed this on a difficult morning. I'd had the books for years. I'd read them carefully. I'd done the practices. And on a morning where everything felt heavy, work pressure, bills I'd been putting off thinking about, an argument that wasn't finished, I went looking for the page that would tell me how to actually get from here to there. The pages all describe being there. None of them describe getting there. I want to be careful here. Tolle isn't sloppy. He's not pretending. What he describes, awareness underneath thought, the inner body as a portal, presence as a baseline. These are real moves. They work. And the inner body practice in particular is one of the most useful concrete instructions I've ever gotten from a so-called spiritual book. This isn't a debunking, it's a gap. Tolle writes from a place of having arrived. The books describe what's true once you're there. They don't describe the friction of getting there. From a life with mortgages, deadlines, half-finished relationships, and a nervous system that wasn't built for stillness. The transition isn't theoretical. It has texture, and the texture is mostly absent from the writing. This matters because the gap is exactly where readers fall off. You read the books, you get the intellectual shape, you try the inner body practice for 10 minutes, you feel something real, and then Monday morning happens. And the practice has nothing to say about Monday morning except be present anyway. That instruction is correct. It's also not actionable in a useful way. So you blame yourself. You decide you don't have the discipline. Or you decide Tolle is right and you're just not ready. Both are wrong. What's actually true? The implementation gap is the territory. It's not a flaw in the books. It's what the books don't try to cover. A fair version of Tolle would say something like this. This is what it's like once the inner shift becomes consistent. Getting to consistent takes years. The years involve a lot of practical, unromantic work. Sleep, nervous system regulation, the boring kind of therapy. Learning to notice your patterns before they fire. Building a life with enough margin that presence is a possibility at all. The books skip that part. That's your job. He doesn't say that, but that's the honest version. Here's where I land. The inner body practice is real. Hold on to it. The implementation gap is real. Don't blame yourself for it. And the work that fills the gap is mostly not spiritual work. It's nervous system work. It's practical life work. It's the unglamorous part. The books don't cover it because by the time you can write Tolle's books, you've forgotten what filled the gap. That's not a betrayal. That's how arrival looks. If you've been reading the books and feeling like you're failing at them, you're not. The books describe a destination. They don't ship the map. You assemble the map. And the map is mostly not spiritual. That more than anything in the books was the thing that let me keep reading them.